here for the interview?
Here comes the interviewer.
Yeah, I
Interviewee.
want to ask who you. I mean, I'll ask who you played, but I don't think it matters too much because we couldn't see after 11 minutes.
Games, but,
Oh my god.
I'll
Well,
describe it in
welcome.
detail.
Yeah. Okay, so who are you in the last game? Just to clarify, what was your name? What's your username?
In the last game I was playing Senna, my name's Keetchie, real name's Aiden, and
Oh
part
yeah,
of
well,
Team
hey,
3.
yeah, believe it or not, I'm also an Aiden.
Oh, there you
So
go.
there you go. I don't know if you spelled the right way or not.
I guarantee mine is different. A-Y-D-E.
Oh, you're one of
Yeah, it's
those.
weird.
Oh,
It's weird.
your parents must think they're so cool.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, no. So honestly, give us a recount of the game, because people watching didn't really get
just
to see
game
much.
3 or the whole series?
Honestly, all three. The quick summary. We
Yeah.
only saw the most we saw was game 3 up to
Right.
11
I
minutes.
mean, it's a billion-dollar company. Their client can only spectate so many games.
Hey, we can't badmouth them too much. We need them to like.
No, I love Riot.
We
I
gotta
love
be
Riot.
like, hey Riot, man, this happened. It sucks. Can
It
you
do-
give us
it's
some
what-
better
it's what it is.
tools, please,
Well,
partner?
I'll
partner?
tell you. Game 1, we had an awkward draft. They had us pinned down on what we wanted to play pretty well. We've been leaning into Karma, Misfortune, Graves the entire tournament, and when they banned a lot of those away and then ended up early picking Graves, we felt kind of pinched in draft. We pivoted to a Viego jungle, and they had just the best counter engage in the world. They had a Renata, which just ruins his kit. It was kind of close, but I think they stomped us relatively hard game 1. Not much to write home about. I blue one Jin because we didn't have any great blue ones, and that's just the worst blue one pick in the world. Game 2, we pivoted a little bit, and we stole the Graves to begin with. And because there's so much contention over just a few picks bot lane like Varus and Misfortune, we just went a Senna lane. We went Senna Maokai, and that made it a lot easier for us to just kind of scale, get up. And in that game, it was about as close as game 1 was, but in our favor. It was relatively healthy the whole time. Game 3 had a lot more back and forth. We were Senna Maokai again. They had Misfortune. We had Corki, all these big prio picks. I think the big thing that stands out is our top laner played Singed all 3 games.
Yeah,
and
no,
they
we
got
were
left
seeing
up
that.
all 3 games, and he's just phenomenal at the champ. Game 3 came down to a Soul and then Elder and a second Baron, and that's how we ended. There's a lot of fighting, a lot of back and forth.
Yeah, damn, we would have loved to see it. That would have been
well.
awesome. Well, see, maybe you can send the replays
Absolutely.
to TO,
Yeah,
and we'll
totally
get it
good.
posted somewhere.
Sure.
Maybe we'll even do our own casting in post if we absolutely
Hey,
feel
they're
like
fun
it.
games. They're
Yeah,
fun
no,
games,
it seems
so-
good to watch, and I'm sure people would love to see it. I'm sure you guys would love to,
Yeah,
have them
they
to
had
share
some
with your friends
incredible
and family.
plays. I mean, Helosia had a mid lane gank on level 5 from our Raptor pit, which like you never see.
I think we did see that. We did catch
did
that.
you get to see it?
We
Great.
also caught the dive they tried to do when you guys bot lane, and Maokai got like a double kill, and then Briar
double
picked up
kill.
the third
yeah.
one.
So they had some really good angles, and there was one fight where I was screaming the whole time, "Watch Lee Sin, watch Lee Sin," and then it was Nico, and I died. Like they have great.
Yeah, no, I was trying to gauge from Pepega's face how the game was going, but they seemed very positive the whole time. So I was like, oh, it must be going really well for them. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it sounds like the podcast that we were doing to
Love the
stall for
podcast,
time was
there you
going great. I will say over your games, who do you think, if you were to assign an MVP to the enemy team, who would you probably say was their most threatening player this time around?
That's a good question. In this finals, I think Sororian is always really scary, and we put a lot of emphasis on neutralizing mid because we've seen him carry so hard. But in this series specifically, Skylar or Helosia, the support, I think just played phenomenal. She found so many angles and so many engages that just we didn't even think about, and it made it really hard to play. I think they were phenomenal.
No, it's good to hear. It's good to hear. A solid team probably is going to have different players. Having their moments and doing better. You don't always want like that one player in a team that's always it, because you're a team, and
Right.
people have their moments, people have their patches, people have their splits, and people have their mains, and everyone has that character pop up. I will say though, it wasn't your jungler target ban Kindred all 3 games.
Yeah, obviously we know this team. We're great friends with them. We've been into finals with each other all 3 of these tournaments and many tournaments before. They know what he likes to play, and Kindred is way high up there. So every time we see him, Kindred's gone. Every game, not getting picked. Yeah.
I do remember. I think there was a Kindred game the last tournament. They let it
there
slide
was.
because I think they were more afraid of something else, and it went off.
Yes.
It took over the game. So
We have entire 5-man drafts that are meant specifically just for Kindred. Like I will play Seraphine ADC just for Kindred.
yeah, no, it's great to hear. Was there any like key play in any of the games that you think was just like the most satisfying moment in your games?
I think the most satisfying thing for me as an ADC is seeing other players get the ADC treatment. And so when our top laner ghost flashes on Singed to fling their AD into our team and insta one shots, it's just hilarious. And he did it 4 or 5 times the last game, and every time he did it, we got an objective or something. And I think it's critical because a lot of top laners win through hard split push or just these, insane tanks that soak up all the damage. And we had something so unique with just, I'm going to sprint to the very back, fling you, and then run in circles for 10 minutes and kill everything.
Yeah, no, personally, I'm terrified of Singed right now. I see his win rate's really high, but
Yeah.
like I haven't seen any, and I'm scared for when I do. I did
Right.
see one, and it was a thing of I didn't get to leave my turret all game,
Yeah.
and then the game was over before I even got to leave lane.
Right.
And it's like, oh, this feels great. So I was always interested to see their Scion answers, another character that can proxy, so that they can kind of.
There's just double proxy
yeah.
on both sides.
And
of the
I was
map
hoping to
going
see
on.
that game one, but it died so early we didn't get a
Yeah.
chance. Another question, I guess, because we've seen both you guys in the finals, all 3 tournaments so far.
Yep.
Is what would you be advice to a team on honestly how to beat both of you guys, or what to do, what to improve to be able to
How to
contest
beat
you guys,
both
and maybe we can see someone else on the stage in the finals.
Right. I think there are definitely teams here today that could beat us, and we happen to get the draw on them and happen to play better. So I think even with no advice, we're probably going to see it anyways in one of these tournaments. I think the biggest thing is because we play together so frequently, and I think because we're just such close friends in real life, there's a lot of inherent trust. So if, like, my jungler Rudy tells me that something's going to happen, I implicitly trust him 100% that we are going to do that, and I know it's going to work. And that lets me focus more on my gameplay and him to focus on his. And by not having to control all 5 of my teammates, but just focus on myself and trust that our comms are going to be viable, makes the game easier. So I think any other team that can better form a bond and team cohesion, it allows your brain power, which is a limited resource, to focus on other parts of the game.
And you think that just comes with a lot of time, or just have you just had all those reps of league games too? You just how often do you guys practice together? How often do you play as a group?
Pretty funny. I would say collectively, we probably play an average of 2 or 3 league games a week. We hardly play league anymore, to be honest.
2 to 3 is a lot in a week, though. I don't know if that's hardly anymore.
Maybe if we're practicing for this, it depends. Like, Rudy still plays solo queue sometimes. The rest of us, I think, have a combined 3 solo queue games this year. It just comes and goes. Like right now.
You got the MMR keeping you guys all the way up there.
Exactly. Like, the way that I like to see it is it comes and goes in phases, and because we're just slightly out of the phase right now, we play less. But, like, when Worlds was around, it's like 40 games a week, So. Yeah, but like even outside of the Rift, I'm roommates with half of our team. The other 2 are close friends. I think that cohesion helps so much.
Oh, well, good to hear. Hopefully we maybe see some other teams get that kind of group in, or maybe we have some people that, maybe a group of 5 random challengers that just happened to be in Colorado living together,
had an
and they're like,
LCS
hey,
player
let's
today.
go.
So.
Yeah, that was very interesting to see, and he was in one of our interviews earlier.
Yeah, Saligo's incredible.
I kept hearing from everyone how Sororian in specific would talk down about Vex, but he had a Vex game where he was like 19-2.
Yeah,
so it's like, hey, there's always a game.
Yeah.
There's always a game for the character.
Of course. Saligo and One Tyler are 2 of the best players I have ever met in my entire life. So when we see them here again sometime soon, it's gonna be scary.
I know it's very fun to watch, and sadly we didn't get to watch the final 3. But
That's how it goes.
should be working next time, hopefully.
I'm glad to hear.
Well, I think that'll be it. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.